All right, guys, so for this next drill, what I want to go over is the back squat. So real quick, we're just going to show you, now there's many different ways, whether you're a weightlifter or a power lifter, we're going to show you how we get the stimulus to athletes when performing the back squat. So Coach Jordan's going to approach the bar. Usually what I tell the athlete is to immediately set up on the bar by finding the knurling, which is, in each bar it's a little bit different, but you want to find basically those rings on the bar so you can grab it evenly and then position your head right down the midline of your hands. Now what Jordan's going to do is he's going to put himself right on top of his traps, right on the fat of his back in a comfortable position. He's going to squeeze his hands, grab, he's going to step out one step, meet feet. Now, one thing that's extremely important, especially for athletes, because you have imbalances and pattern overloads, is you need to glance your eyes down to your actual feet and make sure that your toes are even. What you'll notice is some athletes might have one foot turned out, or you might be in a staggered stance favoring or having a preference of one side. So it's important with a bilateral movement that we actually have a good quality stance and we're symmetrical. Now, when it comes to width of stance, rule of thumb for us, if we're doing a normal back squat, is going to be shoulder width. So you're going to see that his feet are directly underneath his shoulders. If it's the beginning of an off season, we might have the athlete go a little bit wider and kick the toes a little bit out. As we get closer to season, we want to bring those feet actually underneath the hips. A lot of this depends on the actual mobility of the athlete. If the athlete can't perform with the feet right underneath, well, we got to open it up and we might engage the glutes a little bit differently. But just from a central standpoint, this is exactly how we're doing it. Now, what I'm going to ask Jordan to do while keeping his spine neutral, right, and his shoulders pinned back, elbows down, I'm going to ask him to reach his hips back and go ahead and drop his hips in between his heels, performing a squat. Go ahead, keeping his heels planted. Perfect. Good. And you're going to see that his glutes are going to come just about knee to right under knee level. Good. Chin is tucked, spine is neutral, dropping down, pushing through the ground. Now, one thing that's extremely important that you can't see here is one of our biggest cues for athletes is to make sure that they're spreading the floor or screwing their feet into the ground. So to show you a visual of this, imagine if you could see these two mats right here, and imagine Jordan is splitting that midline. I'm gonna ask Jordan while he's performing the down and up phase of that back squat to imagine he's trying to spread these mats apart. That's where you're gonna push your feet down and screw them outwards, okay? This is extremely important for engaging the hips. If you're not doing that, a lot of times all those intrinsic muscles down the spine are gonna take a lot of the load, a lot of the stress, and you're not gonna be engaging the hips properly as we want to, which are the proper hip extensors. So there you have it, guys. Those are our key points. There's many videos on the back squat, but I want to kind of do a simplified version of what we're focusing on to get the right stimulus when training our athletes.